Going on, guys? Welcome back to the next episode of LukesLandys. Sorry about the long delay. Had a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, anyway, we're back here. We're going to be working on the green girl today. I'm going to be doing a coolant change and flush on it. Yeah, show you the best way to go about doing that on a 300 TDI. So let's get into it. So I got bonnet pins in this old girl because when I put this engine in it, I was pushing the car and ran over the bonnet cable. So instead of fixing it, I just put bonnet pins on it. But yeah, so she's just 300 TDI, nothing too spectacular. Rebuilt it, new head, all that normal stuff. It's got super high compression. I made it specifically to have a lot of compression and a lot of boost. Probably why I couldn't keep a head gasket in it when I first put it together, but anyway, that's why we're doing this. So because I couldn't keep a head gasket in it, it had coolant in it the first few times I put it together, but it never had coolant in it since, and now, touch wood, it seems to be holding together. So I'm going to flush it and actually put coolant in it for once, and we're going to fix this hose here, which, as many Land Rover people will know, if you don't have the little bracket that goes on there, that pipe rubs through on your water pump fully, and I don't have the bracket, so I'm just going to make the pipe longer. And yeah, so now we'll just drain it. I'm just going to drain it onto the ground because it's just water. So yeah, so best way to get the coolant out of these things, or the whole lot anyway, is there's a little drain bunk right there, you can see, 13mm, and that drains the coolant out of the block, and then you've got to drain the radiator as well, but that'll get it all out of the block. So and they're a brass plug, so be careful with them. Don't drop your tools. And as you can see, the lovely brown colour of that, this is definitely needed doing for a long time. Anyway, here we are, we're doing it now. So now I'm going to take that bleed cap out of the top there. So it's actually a 21, not a 7/8. And I'm probably going to need 2 hands for this, so let me just sit that there. And voila, see, it's got a rubber O-ring on it, and pretty shot. You can actually get heaps of different types of these. You can get ones that are hex head, you can get ones with a flat screwdriver and they're round. You can get plastic ones, which that white one inside has, that you would have seen in the other video. But yeah, so these ones are the best ones. Brass hex head. You can see this one's been pretty mangled before, but you get that. So now I'm going to take the bottom radiator hose off from down there and drain the radiator, and then what you should do when you're flushing these is these 2 bolts, and pull the thermostat out, so then you can actually flush the whole system through. And you can separate the heater core and do that separately if you want, but I'm not going to worry because I'm just going to flow it through with the rest of the system. But yeah, so I'll pull that off, pull the radiator hose off, and we'll get flushing. Now rip the thermostat out. So there she is, nice and feral. I actually thought this might have been stuck open because it takes a long time to come up to temp at the moment. Like it's taken a while to warm up, so I'm probably just going to get a new one anyway, even if it isn't stuck open. You can test them. If you've got a thermometer, you can stick them in a pot of water and sit it on the stove, and as the thermometer comes up, it should open at whatever temperature is written on it. This is an 82 degree thermostat, so it should be fully open by 82 degrees. But yeah, so I'll probably just buy a new one. That one looks alright for a spare if I need it. Yeah. One other thing I've noticed is there's no air bleed on this thermostat. A lot of the time they've got air bleeds on them somewhere. Anyway, we get to flushing. Alright, so I'm back. Got a new thermostat. That's an 88 degree one. The one that was in it was 82. 88 should be fine. It's going to just bring the running temperature up a little bit, which, well, it'll bring it up to what it's meant to be. So yeah, now we're going to flush her. I'm going to just stick the hose in there, flush it out all the way through down to the that drain bung that I took out. So I'll just run the hose through there for a little bit, and then I'll run the hose through the radiator for a little bit. What I normally do is put my hand over the bottom, fill it up like to the brim, and then drain it, and then do that a few times. And then I'll put this back on and put the hose back on the bottom and put the bung back in it, and then we'll fill it with clean water, run it till it gets warm, and then dump it all again and see how clean it is then. Basically, this is what I'm going to do for now, and just try and flush as much of that out as I can. If I can get the hose to stay there, that'll be great. Stay. So as you can see, we're coming out down the bottom there. It's actually coming out reasonably clean. It's a little bit dirty, but run it through for a little while, and then we'll run it through the radiator for a little while, and then we'll run it hot for a little while. I might even put a little bit of degreaser or something in there, just try and clean anything in there out. But yeah, so that's how it's going to go. So I just stuck the bung back in it down there. I'm going to fill it up till it starts pouring right out at the top there, and then I'll drop it just so it fills the head and everything right up and gets it all full. And yeah, then we'll rip that bung out there again and drop it. Alright, it's a little bit dark down here now. but it's coming out cleaner than I thought it would. Now I'll do the radiator. Yum, yum. Well, that's where most of the stuff was then. See, it's starting to clean up slowly. It's a lot cleaner than it was anyway. I'll throw some down here. And that'll flush everything out. Motor and radiator. Well, mostly just motor. But it'll flush this out. More lovely rust coloured stuff coming out of it there. Alright, well, you get the gist of this. After I've put it back together and we're running it, I'll come back. Alright, so thermostat housing's back on, radiator's on, bungs in it. Nothing's done up. Just going to run it, flush through the heater core and a bit of that, and make sure everything gets hot and cycled through. Typical Land Rover. Go, go. That's why you don't leave parts on your quarter panel. Alright, so now I'm going to let it warm up and we'll drop it out again. Just for good measure. So we're starting to come up to temp. As anyone that owns a diesel will know, with no thermostat and sitting here, they take a long time to build up temperature. Anyway, we're nearly at 50 degrees. I'll probably shut it down once we get to about 60, 70. Depends how long it takes. Alright guys, so we're at about 60 degrees now. Oop. Take this lead bung out of the top here. Everything's hot now, so I also put off camera, I put a little bit of soap in there too, just to clean it up a bit. Now this is going to be the hot one down past the exhaust. Oh yep. Oh yeah, I might get a socket in there, I think, because that's really hot. Nearly got it. I can get my hand on it. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to just drop this one. More brown. Lovely. Oh, at least it's not inside it now. So, yeah, now I'm basically going to do what I did to start with and just flush everything through individually, and depending on how it's coming out after that, I might just button it up and send it, I reckon. It'll probably need another coolant change in 6 months' time just because of leftover crud in the system, but yeah, we're definitely getting most of it out doing that, so we'll just run it again. Well, no, we won't run it again actually. Anyway, I'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so we're at about 60 degrees now. Oop. Take this lead bung out of the top here. Everything's hot now, so I also put off camera, I put a little bit of soap in there too, just to clean it up a bit. Now this is going to be the hot one down past the exhaust. Oh yep. Oh yeah, I might get a socket in there, I think, because that's really hot. Nearly got it. I can get my hand on it. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to just drop this one. More brown. Lovely. Oh, at least it's not inside it now. So, yeah, now I'm basically going to do what I did to start with and just flush everything through individually, and depending on how it's coming out after that, I might just button it up and send it, I reckon. It'll probably need another coolant change in 6 months' time just because of leftover crud in the system, but yeah, we're definitely getting most of it out doing that, so we'll just run it again. Well, no, we won't run it again actually. Anyway, I'll see how it goes. So it's just started raining, as you can probably hear. So now I'm inside waiting for it to stop raining again. So guys, this is that top hose that I was showing you before that I had all wrapped up with tape. You can see there where it's cut through on the water pump pulley. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off there, and then put that bit of hose and run it under the top radiator hose and straight up into the inlet up there, which is up here, instead of it wrapping like that and getting close to the pulley. I'm going to have it way over here, right up out of the way, and just cable tie it there and there. It'll be done. You don't have to worry about it ever again. So guys, like I was saying at the start of the video, that other thermostat didn't have an air bleed. This one, that little thing there is like a ball and socket. It lets the air bleed out. You put that to the top when you put it in the housing, and any air that's trapped on the other side of it is allowed through, so then it can bleed out of this pipe into your header tank. So that's me hose repair there. Well, yeah, repair I guess. It's all on, nice and tight. Bottom radiator hoses in, bungs in down there. All we've got to do is throw this in, put thermostat housing back together, put some, I don't actually like coolant. I live in Queensland, so it's not like the water's ever going to freeze, and water actually cools better than coolant. So all I've got's a corrosion inhibitor, so stop it rusting up. So this little bottle reckons it makes 10 litres. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and put all of it in. There's not quite 10 litres in this system, but now we know it's good. So now we're going to bleed it, and as anyone that's bled a 300 TDI system knows, is they can be a little bit tricky. So I'll show you the best way that, the way that I've worked out's the best. What I do is I fill it up so it starts coming out of the thermostat housing bleed, and then I actually crack the bleed out of the top of the radiator, just to speed things up a bit. Otherwise you've got to wait for it to go through that little jiggler in the thermostat. So once I've got water coming out of the top side of that thermostat housing, we'll go over and we'll take that one out of the radiator. So there we go, bleeding air out. So that's where we leave that one for now, and now we'll pull this one here out. So got it cracked, and as you can see, there we go, there's a big lot of air in there. So what you can do, save losing heat, so you can just plug it off and let it sit for a second, and then take the plug back out. Yeah, it's pretty good. So now you know the whole radiator's bled. There's no air left in the radiator. And take this one out again. And we've lost water there. See, there we go. What you want it to do is sit with just water at the top, no air. We'll plug that back off. Get our hose, put some more water in it. So we're pretty full here, as you can see. Alright, so we're not actually, it's not actually going down in there anymore, so we must be pretty close to full. Alright, do that up, start it, run it for a minute, turn it off, take it out again. I'm very pedantic with this because I've had troubles with it not bleeding before. So you may not have to go to this extent to bleed yours, but this is how I bleed mine because I've had issues with them not bleeding before. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'll run it right up to that thermostat opening temp, which is 88 degrees, and it all should be bled by then, all the air should be out of it, but I'll check it all again tomorrow morning once it's cold, because there is nearly always more air left in it that you find once it's cooled down. So I'll warm it up and we'll go around for one final check, make sure there's no leaks, but other than that, she's done. So guys, she's nearly there. I'm going to call that good for now because I can't be bothered waiting any longer. I've been waiting for about half hour and it's at 74 degrees, so I'll turn it off and let her cool down and check it in the morning. But before we go, so guys, thanks for watching another episode of LukesLandys. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your mates. I'll see you next time.